Well, good afternoon, rail fans. It's Sierra number 52 rail fan. That's SERA, the number sign, 52 and rail fan. Well, I'm down here at Chinese lumber mill, and we got a westbound hill job. It's Friday morning. They came up yesterday. Just with light power, and now they got 2 locomotives on the head end today, and they came down to standard with 5 lumber loads and 2 empty propane cars. So they're down here at Chinese right now picking up some additional lumber loads. Haven't gotten a quick look at it to see exactly how many loads they have, but they're on the track right now. They just hooked on to the loads they're picking up, so they should be pulling them out here shortly. So the weather's not the greatest today. It's actually a drizzly, rainy day. But I thought there's nothing better to do than to follow the train. So they came by the house and figured I'd catch them down here at Chinese, maybe get a little bit of switching action to see what they're bringing, and then maybe set up on Chinese Hill and watch them come up Chinese Hill and maybe get them coming down by Keystone. So come along, enjoy me for the ride, and let's get some train action. All right, looks like they're pulling their loads out of the switch, so we'll see what they have here in a second. And looks like they have 3 tank cars on the back, so I believe they picked one up at JS West in Sonora on the way down. So when I saw them coming through town, they only had 2, so that'd be my guess. So it looks like they're pulling 3 loads out. So they'll have a total of 8 lumber loads and maybe 3 propane cars headed down the hill to Oakdale. All right, so it looks like that's their train heading west. So I'm gonna probably go find a spot up on Chinese Hill to get a good look at them coming up the hill. We'll see you. Set up a long Chinese hill here, just above the Chinese lumber mill and the Highway 120 crossing. So this is a pretty good grade for the train, so be a pretty cool shot getting it coming up this hill. Not a real heavy train for the 2 gen sets. Like I said, looks like they have 8 loads of lumber and 3 empty propane cars. So not a real heavy train, but a decent sized hill job train coming down the hill. So we're actually coming up the hill in this shot. So they're doing their brake test right now, getting ready to head out of Chinese. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and watch them come up the hill. This will be a cool shot. And of course the rain's starting to come down. Starting to slow down a little bit. I bet those rails are slick. Yeah, they definitely picked up a propane car there in Sonora. There you have it. Train coming up Chinese Hill. Not a bad size hill job today. So I'm gonna probably head down the highway and try and get a couple shots over at Keystone coming along the highway. So we'll jump in the truck and head down. Down here at Keystone along Highway 108, and you got a nice straight stretch of track behind me there. Thought this would be a pretty cool shot to get it. There's another spot further up that I was thinking about getting, but there's actually a highway patrolman sitting there in that spot. So figure I don't want to disturb him. Not sure what he's doing there. So I came down to this one. The only thing is there was another shot directly after this where the train comes into a horseshoe curve, or excuse me, not a horseshoe curve, but an S curve. I've gotten that shot before, and I thought it was a pretty cool shot. I don't know that I'll be able to make that, but I should be able to make them hopefully coming across J59 after this spot. So probably be about another 5-10 minutes, and the train should be coming. So I'm gonna hop in the truck, and so I'm not getting drenched on, and we'll wait for the train to come. See you in a few. Again, this is along Highway 108, which that's the highway there. There's a place called Keystone, named after the Keystone Ranch, which I believe is all that land on that side of the highway. So this is a pretty famous movie location on the Sierra Railroad as well. So one of the ones that comes to mind when I was a kid, for you older generation, if you remember the TV series The A-Team, so the character Hannibal Smith, I believe it was this location where he actually jumped from the skids of a helicopter onto the top of the train. They were using the steam locomotive, of course. That would have been Sierra Railway number 3, which is their movie queen, for those of you that are movie buffs and know some history about the Sierra Railroad. But yeah, they did that right in this location. It was right along the highway here in Keystone where they did that. And I think they also did a couple other scenes in that same episode along this stretch of track. But yeah, it's just kind of a nice straight stretch where you could see the train coming. You could really see the topography, that the rail, that the grade here isn't level at all. Train came around the corner and is going down a slight grade, and then it's going to kind of level out, and it'll actually come up a little bit by the time it gets to me. So definitely good to see him moving a lot of lumber again. All right, I'm gonna try and race down and get him at the next shot, so we'll see you there. All right, I'm here at Keystone Mill. It's not the shot I was hoping for. I was trying to get him on those S curves before they got to this location, but couldn't quite beat him there. So this is the next best place. It's coming across J59 here. And that's not a rail fan. Love the smell of that fresh lumber. Apologize for the graffiti there. Okay, rail fans, well, I think that's going to be it for my chase today. The weather's just too nasty, and I'm not going to chase it all the way down the hill and go to some of the places that I know I can get them between here and Oakdale. Not sure what the conditions of the road or the roads are going to be if I do that. I'm sure they're pretty soupy. So maybe I'll run down here Rock River real quick, see if I can't get one more shot of them going off into the sunset, so to speak. Not a bad chunk of lumber there. So I came down here to the valley, heard the weather was clear, and I saw some action here at the grain facility. So figured I'd stop and get some shots, and sure enough, looks like they're pulling out some grain cars. So I'm not sure what those cars are. There's some sort of a tank. And then it looks like they have some container cars down there. So who knows what these little tank cars are here? You can tell by the video. Go ahead and make a comment. Lots of slack in these cars. they dumped those tank cars or whatever they were off. Now they have the cargo containers on the back. I'm real curious to find out why they're bringing cargo containers here and unloading containers. There's a whole stack of them along the buildings there, just behind the grain facility. So if anybody knows, please make a comment so we can get that question answered. I've been unable to find out so far. That's a fairly new thing that they've been doing, is bringing those cargo containers in and unloading those. Well, that was pretty cool. I got lucky on that one. So I was up chasing the hill job, and it was raining and windy, and the weather was just nasty on up there at Chinese Camp in Keystone, where I was getting the hill job. So I was going to call it a day, and ended up calling my wife, who's down here, and she said it wasn't raining and the weather was pretty good. So I thought I'd come down and see what they had going on here, down here at the grain facility, and I got lucky. They came out with some grain cars. Looks like they have some sort of like a tank or a flat car with a tank on it or something. Not sure what those are. I've never seen those before. And then they've got some container cars, which they've been unloading containers over there at the grain facility. There's a whole stack of them, and they've been doing that now for the last couple weeks. At least that's when I found out about it. So not sure what they're doing. If anybody knows, make a comment. But I'm gonna kind of stick around and see if they do some more switching. They don't have a BNSF grain train out here today, so they don't have a 100-car grain train that they're unloading. But they are moving some grain cars around, which it's my understanding that they pretty much do that on a daily basis anyway, and shuttle those cars back and forth between the facility and Oakdale yard here. So I'm gonna stick around and see what other action we can get. And looks like they're coming back out. Finally found the radio channel they were on. They're operating on Sierra 2. Normally they're on I think channel 93 or something. So now I can find out what they're saying here. Alright, well that was pretty cool. So I'm just going to hang out here. Find out what they do next. Looks like they got the conductor standing right there, so. Oh, they may be headed down to Oakdale now. If that's the case, I'll follow them on down to the yard. Yep, I think they're going to be heading west. All right, let's follow them down. There'll be some good shots to parallel them too. Okay, here they are coming into Oakdale Yard. Sounds like they're going to do quite a bit of switching in the yard. So I'm probably going to stick around and see what I can get. that's the Oakdale yard there. They're heading off. They probably got to do some switching there in the facility across the street, or across Yosemite Avenue there. That'd be my guess. So anyhow, this is the Oakdale yard. So these are the Oakdale shops here in front of me, where you're looking at the back of 5-2 there. And just kind of give you a quick shot of the yard. And they got a whole line of gen sets down there. And that's that grain train they just cut from right there that they brought down from the grain facility. So anyhow, this is the big Oakdale yard for the Sierra Northern Railway here in the city of Oakdale. So not sure what the plan is. I overheard some radio traffic. They got quite a bit of switching to do. So looks like I said, looks like they went across the street over there where the industry is. They may do some switching there before they come back here. So we'll hang out and see what happens. Okay, so looks like what they did is they went across the street, I believe that's Yosemite Avenue, and they went over to an industry there where this tank car is probably either spotted at the industry for unloading or it was sitting on a storage track, and they backed it up into the Oakdale yard here, and it looks like they're shoving it back on what they call the Hershey track. I think that's the track. It's a big storage track where they got a bunch of tank cars on it. And they that thing wraps all the way around back towards the old Hershey facility, which is further south of this location. But yeah, that's a huge storage track. So anyhow, looks like that's what they're doing. So I'll stick around and see what else they got going on. So it looks like they're gonna hook onto this little 3-bay hopper car here. have that one sitting there. It looks like they got some more strings over here. I'm not sure if they're going to back into these and move these around or not. We'll find out. Yep. Looks like that's what's going to happen. He's walking back. Nice easy couple. Back them on up, I think, onto the main here. Apologize for the wind, folks, if it's bothering the mic. I don't have any sort of a buffer for that. And it's getting pretty windy down here. And looks like we got another storm rolling in, so hopefully I don't get drenched on here. Yeah, they're coming back onto the main here. They gotta, looks like they got a zigzag to get back onto the main. All right, so I'm still out here at Oakdale Yard. They're still doing some switching. I actually just talked to a couple of railroad employees, very nice people. Talked to a nice gentleman. He knew who I was, so he was a pleasure to talk to. We had a good conversation. So I'm just kind of hanging around to see what they do next. They got a little high rail truck behind me here. They got some. Looks like they're doing a little bit of work here on the tracks while they got the train going by. So sounds like the train might be coming back. They went back across the street a little bit, so I'll see what they're doing. as they're doing work there on the track. Looks like they're tightening up some bolts on either some frogs or some tie plates there. Copy radio traffic. It sounds like the hill job will be coming into Oakdale shortly, so depending on how much battery life I have left, I'll stick around and see if I can get them coming in. My battery's going pretty quickly though. Looks like they may be getting ready to put these gen sets in position and park them and connect them with that other string of gen sets they have out there. We'll find out. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to tie those up with those other locomotives. And it sounds like the hill job will be coming into town here shortly. So I'm going to see if I can't charge my phone a little bit, get some more battery life in it, and watch the hill job coming in. All right, rail fans, so the hill job's coming into town. Got my phone charged up a little bit, so it's above 30% now. So I should have some battery left to get some shots here. Yeah, the hill job's coming into town. The other job that I was following from the grain facility and who was doing some switching, they went ahead and tied up the locomotives and they're done for the day. So here we go. I'll go ahead and flip this thing around, get a shot of the hill job coming in. Is a blowing. I apologize. Looks like they may cut it right there and leave it on the main. All right, they ended up cutting the lead locomotive away from the rest of the train. right, so it looks like what they did is they just left the train on the main there. They cut the lead locomotive away from it, and I believe they're pulling into the shop with this locomotive, is what I heard him say on the radio. So. So that's going to be it, folks. That's the day. All right, rail fans. So I think that's going to wrap it up for the day. It actually turned out to be a great day. Ended up starting off chasing the hill job. The weather was really crappy. It was raining and windy, and I was just going to follow it to Keystone there, or Rock River Road over there in the Green Springs area, and catch it going off into the sunset. Ended up calling my wife, who was down here in the valley, and she said the weather was great, or at least it wasn't raining. So thought I'd come down here, check out the grain facility. I got lucky and caught a train switching cars there at the grain facility, and then they came into the yard here and did some switching, and then the hill job came in. So I got to actually see the hill job end its day. So ended up having a pretty good conversation with a maintenance away railroad employee, very nice gentleman. You know, he kind of wondered who I was, what I was doing here, and once I told him that I was filming, he knew exactly who I was. In fact, he asked, he says, "Oh," he says, "Are you the number 52 rail fan guy?" And I said, "Yeah." So so they obviously know who I am. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he didn't have anything bad to say about it. So we actually had a laugh and had a pretty good conversation. So. Anyhow, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to sign off. Remember to share, add comments, subscribe, and keep on rail fanning, keep on model railroading, and we'll catch you on the next one.